such a wonderful sunny day. A good time to go for a drive. Oh no! Where's the steering wheel? Oh, there it is. I keep forgetting that I'm in the UK. I've always wondered why some countries have a steering wheel on the other side. Let's find out in this episode of TechnoKids. Have you noticed that your car in the UAE has a steering wheel on the left while the car is driven on the right side of the road? Well, this is common. Did you know that in some countries of the world, they have cars with the steering wheel on the right, but they drive on the left side of the road? But why? Typically, cars with steering on the left are called left-hand drive, and countries that enforce left-hand driving are known to be right-hand traffic countries. Similarly, countries with right-hand drive cars are left-hand traffic countries. The reason behind this practice dates back to ages even before cars existed. Countries that follow left-hand traffic are mostly those which were under the British rule earlier. Apart from the UK, countries like Thailand, South Africa, Singapore, New Zealand, Malaysia, Kenya, Japan, Jamaica, Ireland, India, Australia, etc. still have cars that are right-hand drive. Long before cars existed, when Britain was in the conquest of conquering most of the world, knights and swordsmen were uncommon. Since most of them were right-handed, they preferred to use the right hand to handle the sword. Thus, to attack the enemy with their right hand, they had to stick to the left side of the craft. Even though the British ruled many countries, some of them decided to break free of the right-hand drive practice once they became independent and switched to left-hand drive later. One such major switch was done by the United States of America. In 1908, Ford from USA was the first company to mass-produce cars over an assembly line and produced over 15 million Ford T vehicles over a period of 14 years. These cars all came with a steering wheel on the left. With the US emerging as the largest car manufacturer in those days, it became pretty obvious why most cars were left-hand drive. Sweden switched from left to right in 1967. At that time, it had a population of about 7.8 million people and needed great preparations for such a shift. Road markings had to be repainted, bus stops relocated, streets redesigned, and 360,000 street signs changed. The whole process costed Sweden 628 million krona, something like 300 million US dollars today. Today, Sweden is considered one of the best and safest countries to drive in. A switch now would cost the country a lot of time and money in preparations, owing to the growth in the number of vehicles and population across the world. It became more practical for car manufacturers to build cars with both right-hand drive versions and left-hand drive versions, according to their demand. Many companies have set up local factories in regions across the world to satisfy the demand and reduce logistical complexities. For example, Ford manufactures cars in India, which are produced with right-hand drive to meet Indian traffic requirements, while they manufacture left-hand drive cars in many of their other factories across the world. But why do right-hand traffic countries have cars with steering on the left, and left-hand traffic countries have cars with steering on the right? The reason is simple. This makes driving safer, come to think of it. If you are driving on the right side of the road, the driver sitting on the left would have better visibility to incoming traffic and rear than the one on the right. The same principle applies to cars driven on the left side of the road. I hope this episode of TechnoKids was fun and informative as always. Right now I've got a train to catch. Until we meet again next week!